Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, should actually check that my audio is working the way it's supposed to. That looks correct. I am back. It's that time of month. We're going to have some fun, and I've got a guitar on because I've just finished teaching some of my Patreon guys. So yeah, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. I'll play a little bit of guitar today, and then I'll get on with doing some transcribing and all that good stuff. What am I checking? There's definitely stuff I'm trying to check here. Oh yeah, I want to get this shared, don't I? I want to get this shared on my Patreon page. Let's get it up on Instagram as well, because that's fun. I've probably been a bit suicidal here because I'm streaming when I believe Rick Beato is also streaming. Let's see if Rick's still online. Oh, I think Rick's offline now. That's good. Don't want to be streaming when Rick's streaming because no one's going to watch you. He finished 27 minutes ago. That's a relief. What is going on here? There's tons of stuff happening. Right, yeah, let's do the Instagram thing. In fact, while I do that, why don't I just say a huge thank you to my supporters over on Patreon. Right, let's do the Instagram. Get that gram on. I'll answer that in a second. Instagram. It's that time of month again, people. I am live. Literally live. People are watching me do this. How weird's that? Live on YouTube right now, streaming for the next couple of hours. So come and say hello, have fun, get involved. It's going to be, an interesting one. Laters. Cool. Oh, not love on YouTube. That's weird. Don't want to share that on Facebook. Cool. Right, so yeah, as always, big thank you to supporters over on Patreon. Thank you very much. Check me out on Amazon, have a look for one of my books. Search for Levi Clay. You will find some of my hard work over there, and it's always appreciated when people check my work out. On that note, my latest book, 100 Slide Licks for Blues Guitar, is available now. So grab yourself a copy, check it out on Amazon, drop me a nice review, all of that good stuff. Anyway, how's it going? Who's online? Let's say hello to some people and let's have some fun. Upside Down, of course you are online, sir. Serial Guitarist. So Upside Down, I assume you've been online for a while. This is my second live stream of the day. I did a live stream 3 hours ago, doing my monthly study club live stream. And you are part of the $20 tier on Patreon, as far as I'm aware. So you would have got an email for that. I was surprised that you didn't come in on the chat. Jesse Gilbert, look at those guitars up on the wall. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Guitars! And you'll notice that the headless guitar is still hanging on the wall. Good timing. Good. Going through my soloing techniques book now. Awesome. Thank you very much. The country guitar soloing techniques. Or slide guitar soloing techniques. I've done 2 soloing techniques books. Kevin from California, how's it going, man? Kid Poker 007. I mean, that's a strange name. Super weird. Vidception. Howdy, Levi chat. Hello, Ched. Good to see everyone online. Upside Down. You need to keep an eye out for those emails, because obviously those streams they're unlisted. They're not for public consumption. Those are only for study club tier guys on Patreon. But you'll be able to check your emails. You'll be able to access it. It's still there for you. We were going through this book. Let me get it. There we go. Cellular approach, and looking at some, cellular concepts. That was a lot of fun. Absolutely love that. Love that book. The high pitched whine may be back. Hang on, I can sort that. At least I might be able to sort that. Hello? Hello? Maybe that's better. it tends to happen when I ramp my ramp the audio, the hotness of the mic up to max. At least that's what I've noticed. Though I've got a company that are wanting to send me microphone cables and all of that stuff, so hopefully we'll improve it. Is it gone now? Is it gone? Please tell me it's gone. Yeah. Bearable. Wondering if I do non-guitar stuff, transcribe for guitar, tab, or sheet music. Yeah, absolutely. I've been doing some stuff like that. Hey Levi, is writing out your own tab a good step towards learning to tab in regular notation? Yes. I mean, you won't be able to write out your own tab unless you know how to do regular notation. Anyway, Upside Down, yeah, please do go and check out that Study Club stream. It's all, you can just go to the Patreon page and filter by Study Club, and you'll see it there. You'll be able to find it there. Lots of fun, so much fun. Just like all these cells, practicing these. I was, and then going. So I'm just going to jam for a second because I've got a G loop set up, I think. Okay. Yeah! So just forcing those cells in there is cool, though. Yeah, that'll do. Cool. That's probably all the guitar playing I'll do today. Just to give you a teaser of Study Club and some of the things we talked about. I mean, it's really outlining 251s and stuff like that, but the cellular stuff I really enjoy. So, yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed that. April, just to follow on from what you said, that you meant learning to write. Sorry. So are you talking about learning to write songs? 100%. One of the things I've been doing is I've been transcribing some Paul Gilbert songs, some old Paul Gilbert songs. Hey Judy, Judy, do you remember how we met? I forget the lyrics. You say you'll never forget, 'cause you love me. Well, I love you too, and I'm so good for you, but I'm afraid I'll ruin our plans when you find out who I am. I am Satan, I am Satan, I rule darkness and fight off the day. I am Satan, I am Satan, you may want to run, and here's the magic. Run, but I hope you will stay. I am Satan, I am Satan, this year's king of the underworld. And then magic money chord. But there's nothing I can do, and I feel oh so blue without you. When you learn a song like that, you find the money chords, you find the things that work really well. The other one I was just doing is Mr. Spock, the Paul Gilbert song Mr. Spock, which is another great tune. And when you look at the chorus of that, remember how it goes? No, I'm not crying. Need to see the chords. I'm not crying. And then you have da da ba ba da ba ba da da. Where's he fucking singing? I'm not crying. I'm not crying. I don't have time to stand on that. I've got to keep on trying. I'm not crying. I'm not crying. I really want you back, and so I've got to keep on trying. Point is, when transcribing that song and you learn that chord, you hear that? It's an A sharp. It's an F sharp 7 chord with an A sharp in the bass. That becomes something that you absorb into your musical identity, and then you're more likely to use that when composing. You hear these things and you use them. So yes, transcribe. Do that. Dominic, super tasty. Would be cool to see more videos with your improvised soloing. Definitely underrated as a player. You're too kind, sir. Too kind. This Floyd Rose speed guitar. Yes, I have. Absolute turd. Absolute turd. I talked about this. Where did I talk about this? This is the Guitar. Yeah, it was the Guitar Souls podcast last episode 53. Go and check that out if you want to see. If you want to see why that's a turd. I do like my swing. Can't help with the swing. I like all I want to do is things like. Let me hear that. What did I do there? I want to hear things like. I could just sit on this all day fucking long, and just have a blast. Let's do it. Let's try not to do it for all day, but. Gotta be a rhythm machine. I don't like that, it's too loud. Make it quieter. Apparently I wasn't recording. Cool. Anyway, let's get on with other stuff. Let's read some comments. Let's do some fucking... Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. Right, what have I missed? It was episode 53, upside down, before you linked to episode 54. Hit some Stevie Ray licks. Got a player telly and notice I've got some weird buzz going on. Only happens on the E and A string. Seems not to come from the frets or the bridge. Sounds like a high fret. Sounds like a high fret. Think about it like this, La La Lulu. If it was electronic, there's no way that it would be only on two of the strings, because the pickup functions as a whole. When your signal goes out to your amp, the signal doesn't know the difference between what note was produced on the E string and what note was produced on the A string. So I would say that. Yeah, there's the SRV, AMA. What's the secret to a long and happy life? Well, I've not had a long life yet, so I can't give you that one, and I probably won't have a long life. But a happy life is do the things that make you happy rather than the things that make other people happy. Ideally, you want those two things to match up. You know, making other people happy. If that makes you happy, then awesome. But spending your life doing things that make someone else happy, I guess I'm talking about work, right? Working your life away to make your boss rich is not something that will ever result in a happy life. So that's what I would go with. Hello, -7sharp5. Sorry I missed work, boss. Leave, I was playing all day. Yeah, I never stopped playing, man. Lots of comments coming in. I see Leon's online. How's it going, man? Lovely lick on the 4. A little outside. Sometimes I play a little outside. Sometimes I have been known to play outside sometimes, but lots of comments. All right, I think this guitar's going to get put down now, and I'll do some actual work for you. I'm seeing lots of help for Lala Lulu, which is good. I like that. Yes, Stephen, transcribe it. Yeah. Yeah, episode 53 is where I talked about the Floyd Rose guitar. I'm getting some Russian from Igor. I don't speak Russian. My usual line is I don't speak foreign, but my most rage-inducing story of 2019. Honestly, probably Angela Gossow and Alyssa White's Gluz, or whatever her fucking name is, not understanding how copyright works, and then going out of their way to double down and try and villainize a photographer for exerting his legal copyright on things. And that bugged me so much because they're just using their position of power to bully someone in a smaller position, and it's insane because they work in the creative industries, so they know how copyright works. And in a band, the last person that should ever be going out and telling people that they should be doing things for exposure is people that work in fucking bands. You know what that shit is like. You don't do it. You would hate it if someone says it to you. So when fucking Angela Gossow was trying to make out like this photographer should have been grateful that they were using his work without paying him, that really rubbed me up the wrong way. So do that. Dominic making all the changes all day. Levi Clay making all the changes all day. Slow showing all the blues cats what it means to really play blues, turn around and repeat. There we go. There's a someone's written some lyrics for me. No, you're not flooding the chat at all, man. I appreciate the input. I appreciate it. Are expensive guitars make you a better musician or just a collector? Christian, the guitar that you've seen me playing today, my Mexican Telecaster. This is a Mexican Telecaster. This is a Fender Road Worn Series Mexican Telecaster. I think if most of you played this guitar, you would say this is a horrible piece of shit and put it down. The action is obscenely high. Nothing about it plays well. It doesn't have a great neck. None of this guitar is good, but it's great. It's so good because there's some character about it. When I play this guitar, it feels like home to me. It's like a comfortable old pair of shoes, right? This is not an expensive guitar. You could buy one of these guitars for probably about $600. And when you compare that to, say, like that Mayonnaise there, I think if you wanted to order that, you'd probably be looking at about $7,000 or $8,000. Or this one here is probably a good $4,000 or $5,000. The Ormsby behind me there, that you'd be looking, what, $1,500, $2,000. Sir Telecaster there. There's a Mayonnaise Hydra there. These are all expensive guitars. I've got my Vigier on the wall over here. You can't see that, obviously. These are all nice, expensive guitars. But this one, this is the cheapest. And it's the one that I love the most. I've done some little upgrades to it. I've put the Danny Gatton pickups in it. That's it. Still got the stock machine heads on it. The bridge is stock. I actually don't tell a lie. I've changed the saddles to the Wilkinson ones that have a pivot point in them, and I've rotated the control plate round. I've added this bit of metal here, but that doesn't do anything. That's cosmetic. So cheap Telecaster, and this is great. And a huge part of why this is great is because it's cheap and because it's shit. And I did this video before, years ago, where I was talking about why the Telecaster is the greatest instrument. It's because you acknowledge when you play the Telecaster that it's not the best instrument. And that's why it's the best instrument, because none of that, the question that you asked where expensive guitars make you a better musician, there is that feeling, I think, in the back of your mind when you're playing a cheap guitar, like, it doesn't sound as good as if I'd spent more money. I'm never going to sound as good as that guy over there that's playing the expensive guitar, or the more comfortable guitar, or the more ergonomic guitar, or any of that, right? I don't subscribe to any of that. When you pick up a Telecaster, you acknowledge that it's not perfect. It's great. It is what it is. It's not comfortable. There's no contours on it or anything. You play it and your arm hits against this sharp bit, but because of that, because you put that all aside and you just play the damn thing, there's something like in the ethos of what a Telecaster is that I enjoy. So, yeah, play a Telecaster. Play anything, but stop worrying about could it be better? Could I get a better instrument? Because I've got the best. I've got the greatest instruments that you could ever ask for. Apart from the fact I don't own a tremolo, apparently. But yeah, be happy. Play a guitar. Smile. See how I'm smiling now? I'm smiling because I've just had a fun jam and I've enjoyed playing the guitar. And I'm actually a bit disappointed because the only reason I stopped is because I don't want you to think I'm too self-indulgent. But I would happily put that loop on and just play for 2 hours, or I'd put some more changes in there, or do something, and I would just explore. So Leon says, actually, how is the Sur Telly compared to my other tellies? And I see another question here about the Sur Telly, which is, where is it? It was Ben asked it, maybe? Hey Levi, didn't you have a Sur Telly at one point? How did that compare to my Fenders? Yeah, so the Sur Telly's just here. Here. It's a great guitar. It's a really good guitar. Very expensive guitar for what it is. I am very much of the opinion that Telecasters should never be more than $1,000. Never be more than $1,000. Anyone that's trying to sell you a Telecaster for more than $1,000, I understand why they're doing it. They're in business. But when you look at a Telecaster and you compare a Telecaster to a Stratocaster, the Stratocaster is an infinitely more complicated instrument to build, to literally manufacture, to set it up. Telecaster is a piece of wood with holes drilled through it so you can put strings through it, and a neck bolted onto it with some holes drilled at the other end so you can attach the strings to that end as well, and that's it. It's dodgy wiring, it's like there's nothing incredible about the design of a Telecaster. It's simple, it's to the point. Whereas if you build a Stratocaster, you have to cut your piece of wood, and then you have to shape the piece of wood, because it's not just a block. It's got to have an arm bevel on it, and it's got to have a tummy contour, and you want to round off all the edges. Time, effort, money goes into doing that and getting good at doing that and creating something that's aesthetically pleasing, etc. Then you think about, well, I've got to route this out so I can put a tremolo in it. That's work. That's a lot of work. And then you've got to understand the ins and outs of how to install a tremolo and balance a tremolo correctly. And you've got to make sure that, because the tremolo can dramatically impact the action of the guitar and the overall relationship that the guitar has with the neck. You don't want to build a Strat and then put the neck in and go, oh, this is all wrong, and then have to shim the neck. Because when you shim the neck, you've fundamentally changed the most important part of that guitar, which is the join between the neck and the body. You see what I'm getting at? Like, building a Strat is infinitely more complicated compared to building a Telecaster. So Strats, I understand why they're expensive, and Super Strats, etc. But the Telecaster isn't any of those things. Telecaster is so unbelievably simple, and therefore, why would they be expensive? They're easy to build. If you were a luthier, and I'm sure we've probably got some luthiers in here, if given the opportunity of someone saying to you, "Hey man, I want to pay you $2,000. Let's say dollars. I want to pay you $2,000 to build me a Strat, or maybe I could pay you $2,000 to build me a Telecaster. Which one of those are you going to go for?" You're absolutely going to want to build them the Telecaster for that, because it's easier for you to do. Yeah, people often think that I don't like the Telecaster, but I own so many Telecasters. I love tellies, so yeah. The Sur Telecaster is great. Is it a £2,000 great? No. It's great. It's great. But it's not £2,000 great. It's just great. Okay. Keep going. What's my unicorn guitar? The one that got away, the one that I still think about. Man, that's a great question. The unicorn guitar is a 1953 Fender Telecaster. That's what I want. I want a 1953 Telecaster, not a 52. Everyone wants a 52. I want a 1953. I want a 1953 Telecaster because Danny Gatton played a 1953 Telecaster. So I want a 1953 Telecaster. Simple as that. I would take a 1968 Paisley Telecaster. That would be something else that I would thoroughly enjoy. I would really like that. I'd say like a 61 SG or a 57 Les Paul Gold Top. But no, the 53 Telly, that's what I want. A vintage Telly. The one that got away, or the one that I still think about. So I used to have a Sir Modern, back when I was working with the guys at Sir. I had a Sir Modern Guthrie Coven signature. It was a great guitar, but I got tired of being, lumped in with Guthrie. You'd get that guitar out, you'd play it, and people had already decided what you sounded like. They'd already decided that you were good. They'd already decided that you play fusion and shit like that. And I didn't like that. I hated that association that I got from doing that. So I sold it to Martin Palmer, and he still has that guitar, and I'm jealous. Regret selling every guitar though, don't you? That's just the way that works. Had a really nice 61 SG reissue. That was really nice. And I sold that. So, and I regret selling my Michael Romeo signature, and lots of guitars that I regret not having anymore. Some that I actually don't regret not having anymore. But yeah, there's too many regrets. Too many regrets, man. I still got it. Squier Classic vibes are amazing guitars, but in the past, pre-internet, Squier have released some absolute dogs. That's true. Great guitarists can make music on anything, really. It's how you play it that matters, I suppose. I agree with that, Guitar Solutions. Tellys are the best. Love your cheap telly. People forget it's mostly player and tone is really all about fingers. I think there's a lot of truth in that, Don, but within reason. Not mostly. But the important part is that, yeah. Hello, Levi, I love the channel. Thank you very much, SMS Customs. And have I ordered an Ibanez yet? Ibanez, they don't have what I want. They don't have what I want. I decided I wanted the Eric Hansel signature, and they don't have one. They can send me one of the Seafoam green ones. I'd kind of set my heart on the Eric Hansel signature, so it's a real struggle for me because I could just take that guitar, but I really wanted an Eric Hansel signature, so I don't know. Not ordered an Ibanez yet though. Guitars worth over 1,000 upstairs. Practice on your €150 acoustic Harley Benton. Yeah, cutting board with strings. And it is, of course, it's bullshit when people say you can't play metal on a telly. Ciego Guitars has a Stratocaster that a friend gifted him for free. It's one of your favourite guitars. One of the nicest Strats you played too. It's a parts caster. Yep. Did you get any hate from my recent Chapman video, or has his mob started to subside? I mean, I got... actually, that's a really great question. I got a lot of hate. The first couple of weeks that video was out, the like to dislike ratio was sitting at about 25% likes. So his fans really fucking hammered me hard on that one. And while that doesn't bother me in the slightest, it was something I was aware of, but it didn't bother me because ultimately the likes thing on a video doesn't mean anything. I'm not interested in what Rob Chapman's fans think of me, in the same way that you guys that are watching this stream now, right? I love you all to bits, but I'm not interested in what you think of me. Because you like me, you have that bias. If I do something that's maybe a little bit shitty, you're more likely to have my back than somebody completely impartial. So I'm not interested in Rob Chapman's fans telling me I'm an asshole, and I'm not interested in my fans telling me that I'm in the right. What I'm interested in is that middle ground, the people that are unaware of the situation. So while I did get a lot of hate from his fans initially, when Become the Night and Dovidas made their videos on the subject, and they called Rob a bully, and they started presenting all this evidence of him bullying people started coming back to my video, and I had a lot of people apologise to me saying, you know what, I hadn't really looked into the situation, I was just taking it at face value, etc, etc. But that's great. People changing their mind is absolutely awesome. And the like to dislike ratio has gone the other way on that now. I've now got more likes on that video than dislikes. So, Rob's fans don't bother me. Bring it. Bring it. Look at it this way, right? When you have dealt with Stevie T's fans, Rob Chapman's fans are fucking nothing. Telly is a bugger to maintain because of that big metal plate. You practically have to dismantle the guitar to replace the bridge pickup. I have never, well, I won't say I've never replaced the pickups in my guitar, because obviously I have, but it's not something I'm doing regularly. So yeah, read somewhere once that not just anyone can make a Telly sound good. It takes a master. I don't know about a master, Jesse. It certainly takes a lot of authority and confidence to play a Telecaster and make it sound good, because the thing that everybody knows about Telecasters is that bridge pickup is so very, very bright, so like cuttingly bright, and I for years stayed away from that pickup on the guitar, because as soon as you turn it on, you instantly get this like, oh, like you're playing quieter and you're trying to avoid like really hurting anyone's ears. But then you start to learn that actually that sound is what the Telecaster does, and you have to learn to be confident with that sound. And actually you're best playing everything with that bridge pickup on the Telecaster, so you get used to controlling that harshness of the guitar. And then anything's easy when you play a Telecaster, because if you go to the middle pickup, you're like, cool, this feels great. You go to the neck pickup, you're like, oh, this is the best sound ever. But you don't have that fear of going to that bridge pickup and it sounding really biting. So yeah, I don't think you have to be a master, but I think you have to be very confident to play a Telecaster. I'd like that. That gold top would be nice. I have never owned a Fender Jazzmaster 6-string. I have not. How about that Steinberger neck plate? I don't know what you mean by that. Let's have a look. Don't really understand what I'm looking at. What about the Steinberger neck plate? You've lost me. What was my first guitar? My first guitar was a Washburn BT9. Let me bring up an image of it up, actually, so you can see the monstrosity that was my first guitar. Oh, there we go. My first guitar was a Washburn BT9, and it was this colour. It was a green one like this, and it had these offset dots on it. And I cannot believe that someone sold one of these for $400. 618 Australian dollars. No fucking way. Not a chance in hell. Look at it. 300. No way. There you go. That was it. That was my first guitar. Not that particular one. I don't think there are any images of me playing mine, because they all would have been on MySpace. But yeah, there you go. The Washburn BT9. That was my first guitar. A Maverick series. And like I said, it had these offset dots. And there was a point where, because I was really into Noodles of the Offspring, I duct taped over the entire thing because I wanted to be just like him. Yeah. What do you do when facing major burnout, but inside you still want to practice? Jevan, that's a great question. And I think my playing is an answer to that. I play so many different styles of music, and it's not for any reason other than burnout on one given genre. You know, practicing technique or like sight reading or whatever it is, like chord melody. Like if you spend too much time doing one of those things, you inevitably burn out on that thing. And what you can do then is you can either walk away and do something else, or you can stay but you can do something else. So that's why I started to learn like country music, and that's why I started to learn slide guitar and things like that, because I just wanted to take a break from the things that I was burnt out on. Having said that, I'm burnt out on just about everything now, and my answer is, well, I practice something else. I'm playing drums. That's what I've played practice drums every single night this month. This year is my year of drums. So we're actually, when I do some transcribing today, we will be doing it, I promise. We're looking at drums. We're talking about drums today. So Nicola, catch myself doing that over and over. Every time I see a Sur, Charvel, mostly roasted maple, Ibanez AZ, I'm like, all right, Fusion man, show me some sweeps and good legato. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's exactly how that works. And it's not something I didn't want to fall into that trap anymore. Did it too long. David Ass reinforced my position on the whole topic. I had no idea what happened, though not into drama. He did reinforce my position. Yeah, he did reinforce my position. And it took someone with 500,000 subscribers drawing attention to it. Lala Lulu, you shouldn't be into drama, but you should be into making sure that our community stays right. And when someone is sending 700,000 fans to harass and threaten a teenager because they said something about them they didn't like, they should be held accountable for that. So, happy Brexit Day, fake Sargon. Did I watch Dankula's post-Brexit survival guide? It's important. I was sat in his house when he filmed it. He kept coming in with his hat on. So yes, I watched it just before I did my lesson earlier. What up, Levi? David, hey Levi, I have some transcriptions from me. Is it a problem if I upload cover songs to YouTube, giving credit to you and the songwriter? I mean, you don't need to credit me for my transcriptions at all. Like, yeah, do it. John Fisher, one of the guys that apologised. You weren't the only one, man. You weren't the only one. I think you were the only guy that emailed me, but there were some people that re-commented and said I can't find my comment, but I know that I was pretty harsh to you before, and I apologise. So. Matthias Asato, him playing anything inspires, doesn't it? He's a great player. Still a fan of Rob in some ways, but frankly, your video did change my mind on a few things and wouldn't consider supporting his business anymore. Sean's playing with Hellborg was incredible. Thoughts on his work on Time is the Enemy, the album and song. Also, how tough to transcribe. I transcribed the song Time is the Enemy. You always want to talk about Sean, man, and I just don't want to talk about Sean because he wasn't a big influence on me. He's just not been a big influence on me, and like his stuff with Hellborg, it just doesn't do anything for me because it's too jammy. You know, there's just too much jamming going on. I'm not into that. I'm into things that are more rooted and compositional in nature. I know it sounds crazy because I'm into improvisation. But the example I always give is Tribal Tech, Scott Henderson's fusion band. Like the first 4 Tribal Tech albums I love, and then they become more of a jam band, and I'm just not all that into that. And it's the same with like Aquarium Rescue Unit. They've got a lot of really jammy stuff. Then you listen to the albums like The Calling, and there's lots of songs on there that are like really songs, and they grab me more. So yeah, confidence you have, my friend. Rock the hell out. Some people say confidence, others say arrogance. A Vet Young's Talman is being sold for $14.66. I mean, I feel is that an alt-right dog whistle there? Is that a thing? Is that $14.88? Yeah, I think that's $14.88. We don't want those dog whistles in these streams. $14.66. That's really high. That's really high for what that is. Yeah, that's really high. No one over 7 watches Stevie T. I can confirm that. The thing with Stevie T is like when I was dealing with his fans, I try and treat everybody on the other side of a screen when I can't see them as a peer, as an equal, someone that I can have a conversation with. And if we disagree on things, that's absolutely fine. But there's hopefully some back and forth that you can have, and having conversations is about like finding out where that middle ground is and the things that you can agree on and things that you can disagree on, and you hopefully learn something from each other. So I was getting all this hate on those videos, and I was trying to engage with these people, and a couple of times I was just like, look man, I don't want to insult you because I appreciate how you could say this to someone and it sound really insulting, but you say to them like, how old are you? Like, because you're arguing and you're demonstrating your ability to reason like a child. Like, can we be a bit more adult about this? And then they'd respond and go, I'm 12 years old. What's that got to do with anything? Fucking, I've just spent an hour arguing with a fucking 12-year-old. Yeah. Thoughts on Ibanez not releasing the production numbers on their limited Pia colours. I don't think it matters. Shut up, let's talk. Because anyone that's foolish enough to buy a Pia they deserve to be done over. What an ugly guitar. Have I noticed people on Instagram tone down the speeding up miming thing since the outrage? I'm not a big Instagram user, Angus, so not so much. I don't spend time looking at guitar playing on Instagram. Maybe. Christoph, really enjoying the live streams as well as the Guitar Souls podcast. Thank you very much, man. Play authentic, yeah. Got to play authentic, man. Closet drummer, looking forward to the transcription. Great. Do I watch TV? No, not really. I don't have a TV license, which sounds alien, as I know most of my viewers are American. So the concept of needing a license to watch television is ridiculous to you. But I haven't had a TV license for over 10 years because someone once said to me that when they asked the question, they said, have you ever considered why you don't see adverts for Ferraris and Lamborghinis on TV? And I'd never thought about it. And I was like, that is true. You don't see adverts for Ferraris and Lamborghinis on TV. And they said, do you know why that is? And I said, why is that? And they said, because people that buy Lamborghinis and Ferraris don't sit around watching TV. It's true. 100% true. And that just instantly made me go, you're absolutely right. I need to stop sitting in front of the TV and I need to spend more time practicing. I need to spend more time networking. I need to spend more time developing my skill set and understanding marketing and how to be better in my chosen business. So, yeah. Never touched any other guitar than your Mexican Fender Telecaster. Feel much difference as switched to a thin... yeah, you will feel a big difference. Sup, Samurai Fingers. I'm trying to remember what you're laughing at there. Shut up, let's talk. Oh yeah, so the Pia. When I first started watching my videos, I thought you were a dick. I mean, I am a dick. I'm absolutely a dick. I'm just being honest and real. That's absolutely what it is, man. I'm extremely passionate about this industry that I'm in. I'm extremely passionate about this community that we're all a part of. And it's not my business. It's not my job to tell people how to behave. It's not my job to say who can and can't be part of a community. But I feel some sort of responsibility to when I think people are doing things that are going to ultimately hurt our community. I do feel it's my it's the right thing to do is to say it. I don't have a filter. If I think someone's a cunt, I have to say it. It's that same old that's what I said to Rob years ago. You can't make everybody like you, and I would so much rather people hated me for who I am than liked me for someone that I pretended to be. I have that compulsion to be honest, and I feel it means that when I get to know someone like you, in conversation like this, there's an honesty and an authenticity. We're playing authentic, if you like, when we talk with each other, and I totally respect when people have different opinions. I totally respect when I disagree with people on things. That's okay. Don't get me wrong, right? If I disagree with you on something, I will absolutely tell you why I think you're wrong, and I'll apply the pressure, and I will really try and get to the bottom of what you think and why you think the way that you think. And that rubs a lot of people up the wrong way because they feel that they're being attacked, and it's not an attempt to attack. It's an attempt to understand someone's position, and people don't like having their opinions questioned. I don't mind having my opinions questioned, right? So, but afterwards, after I've had a deep conversation with you and we've disagreed on something, I'm not going to walk away from that conversation and think that guy sucks. I'm just going to think, cool, we differ on that one thing. So I'm glad that you took the time to understand who I am a little bit more. Talman Sparkle Finish, yeah, certainly has been a slowdown of Instagram sped up videos. Good. Do people still watch TV? Maybe. The reason I mentioned the TV license thing is I wanted to brag about the fact that I'm also one of those people that doesn't have a TV license, but I also don't watch TV. It's not like I'm like, fuck the TV license. I'm not going to have a TV license, and I'm going to watch TV anyway. They can't make me pay. Like, I don't work like that. Like, cool. I don't have a TV license. I can't watch TV. Fine, no problem. I used to be able to watch BBC iPlayer, and then they changed the law, so it was like, yeah, well, you can't watch TV, and you can watch catch-up TV, but you can't watch BBC catch-up TV because somehow we're special. And rather than fighting about it, I was like, okay, cool, can't watch that either anymore. Fine, no worries. Being an advocate for transcribing, we'll move you on that. Learning by ear changes you as a musician. Do you think using tabs, professional ones, is worth it, or is it better to do it all by ear? That's an easy answer, I think, Jevon. It's all about time, I would say. If there's something that you want to learn to play, and it's going to take you 10 hours to learn to work it all out by ear, 10 hours is a long time. If you could learn it from a good quality transcription in half an hour, and then use 9.5 of those hours after that to help develop the ear based on the thing that you've learned, you will find that the next time you want to transcribe something like that, it might only take you 8 hours. I think that's probably the better way to do things. Of course, like, time is money. Everything comes down to that, right? Time is money. And there are students that I deal with, and even clients, where I say to them, you don't need me to do this. And I will make I'll be clear. I'm like, look, I'm happy to take your money, but you don't need me to do this. I absolutely believe in your ability to do this, because I think that's what they need as students or clients, or however you want to look at it. When I'm trying to help them get where they want to be with something, I'm quick to take a step back and go, you don't need me for this. You can do this, because I think we should develop our ears. But also at the same time, yeah, that takes time, and doing that with like a guided path to do that, I think is the better way of doing that. So minor 7 sharp 5 has a great question here, right? Favourite chord, I think you can guess mine. Okay, my favourite chord is a 9 sharp 9 sharp 11. 9 sharp 11 chords are my favourite chords. I can guess that your favourite chord is a minor 7 sharp 5, but here's the thing. In 99.99% of times where you see what you would call a minor 7 sharp 5, it's not a minor 7 sharp 5. That chord isn't a thing. You can look at it on the neck and you can say, this looks like a minor 7 chord with a sharp 5. But if you take your voicing for like A minor 7 sharp 5, it doesn't sound like a minor chord, does it? It sounds like a major chord. Why is that? Because it's not a minor 7 chord. It's an F major chord. It's an F add 9 chord with the third in the bass. So that might rock your fucking world, but that's the way that is. There's no getting around that. When I do this, if I play like this, you don't hear that as being minor. You're hearing that as being a B flat major, major 9 with the third in the bass. Or if you played like this, same thing. You're hearing F add 9 with the third in the bass. That's what that is. And the demonstration of that is if you were hearing this as being A minor 7 sharp 5, when you were improvising over it and playing melodies, you would never play the note E, because E would be the 5th. Fair? So that your chord is saying that this chord doesn't have a 5th in it, it has a sharp 5. So you'd be playing, well, what we would technically call E sharp. So you would be playing things like, but you wouldn't play that over that chord. If you hear this, you're going to play. because that's what that chord is. If you hear it in any context, and I play this on streams a lot. Everybody dance, clap your hands, clap your hands. When you hear that chord in there, it's A flat major 7. This is an F chord with an A in the bass, followed by an A flat with a B flat in the bass. And you can always test this by just taking that chord and instead of playing that, just playing like. So there you go. That's my minor 7 sharp 5 rant. I'm yet to find a context where you actually hear it as being a minor chord with a sharp 5. You don't, you hear it as first inversion chord. Throw your TV out the window. Get it done. The Ferrari Lamborghini anecdote. Made a decision on an Ibanez yet? Yeah, I want the what's his name? Eric Hansel one. Just trying to find your comment. There we go. My ability to be a dick and still be a genuinely cool guy. Yeah, just be honest, right? Not everyone on the planet will have the same tastes or opinions, but morality and integrity are kind of paramount. Yeah. There's no objective morality. It's definitely there's some subjectivity in there, but largely I think the majority of things we can agree on right and wrong of things. So yeah. I do find myself focusing less on speed and more on phrasing, feel, and interesting patterns. Notice these days, 100%. I can't play fast anymore because I'm not interested in it. Do I like David Rawlings playing? I'm not familiar with his playing. Giving your first guitar lesson to an 8-year-old. Good fucking luck. I hate teaching kids, man. So Richard, yeah, I want the Eric Hansel. They don't have one in stock, so I might be stuck with the Seafoam Green one. Being honest won't get you many friends, but it will always get you the right ones. That's a great quote. Yeah, man, that's a great quote. Good evening, Tailed Feature. What's my favourite YouTube guitar channels? Honestly, I don't watch a whole lot of guitar on YouTube. I've been meaning to do a video on this. There are very few guitar channels. In fact, I would go one further. I don't think there's a single guitar channel that I'm subscribed to. I've subscribed to a lot of channels that talk about music. Channels like, I don't know, 8-Bit Music Theory or Game Score Fanfare. Of course, Rick Beato and like Adam Neely, and there's a bunch of channels that do more, music-based things rather than guitar-based things. I try to avoid the guitar stuff. Hello from Canada. We get a lot of people in from Canada. I love Canada. I've not been, but it's somewhere that. My wife has family there, and we're always talking about going. So, do I play classical stuff? Fun fact: qualified classical guitar player. Have not played classical guitar in 10 years. I have no interest in playing classical guitar. It's amazing how few people in the TV industry watch TV. Yeah. How to play tambourines? I don't even own one, man. Hey, Levo, what are my thoughts on right hand positioning, open or closed picking hand? Whatever works for you, Gabriel. If Eddie Van Halen came in for a lesson with me and he holds his pick like this, like this, I'm not going to say, first up, Eddie, you're holding the pick all wrong. Marty Friedman came in for a lesson, he's playing like this. Marty, you've got it all wrong. No. Everyone does things different. I found a book in Goodwill about Mankind and another one about Mick Foley. $2 each. Great. Yeah, that would be. Oh shit! What's Mankind? What's the autobiography? It's called Have a Nice Day. The Mankind story, yeah, maybe Mick Foley story. When you're lying on your deathbed, you won't look back and wish you watched more TV. See, Rick Beato calling it a minor flat 6 is a better name for it in terms of if you want to call it minor, because you would play a flat 6 on the chord. And you would play a natural 5 on the chord. Sounds like an Alanis Morissette song. It's like rain on your wedding day. Sloppy Joe, I'm glad you found it too. Do you know what would make it even better? Tell someone else about it. Thanks, Rich. Ibanez Iron Label. I've played a couple of the Iron Label stuff. Yeah, I think they're actually pretty good. I think we're very lucky in the society that we live in nowadays because it's easier and easier to get pretty well made guitars. People were talking about it earlier, like back in the day, 10, 15 years ago, when you got a guitar that was imported from China or Korea or Indonesian or whatever, the quality control was often very poor, and that's significantly improved. Technology has significantly improved the quality of instruments like that. So the Ibanez stuff that's not made in Japan, the quality on it is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Like head and shoulders above that fucking Washburn that I played when I was a kid. I mean, to be fair, I don't know where that was made, but working on transcribing Grant Green's solo on Green's Greenery. First time I'm trying to transcribe. Get any tips for first time transcribing? Yes, Nolan. Sing everything you play. Sing everything that he plays. He plays a melody. Ba boo ba 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 boo ba ba. Internalize that sound. Do that. Internalize the sound. Then work out that and write that down. Paul Davids, yeah, he has a good channel. Not familiar with Sean Daniel. Samurai Guitarist, he pops up in my suggested feed from time to time. There's some of his stuff I like, but then there's other things that he does that it's just like playing into the meme side of things, which is less my cup of tea. But certainly from time to time he makes a video that I do go, I want to click on that and check that one out. So favourite AZ is probably the Martin Miller one. Largely due to them, I agree with you on that. How to go out by learning a vocal melody by ear. That's the most alien concept to me. Alien question, I should say. We're all singers. We're all born with a voice when we communicate. Right now I'm choosing the pitch with which I'm communicating. I have the ability to raise my pitch if I want to be dramatic, or I can make myself speak very low. And if I heard someone speak like this, I could imitate that sound. I think we're very in control of our voices. Broadly speaking, like accuracy might not be there, but we do have the control to go roughly where we want it to be. So hearing a vocal melody and then imitating it with my voice is not something that I've ever really thought about as being difficult. Jeff Healy, he's holding the guitar wrong. Yeah, well, I tell him that, of course. Eric Johnson's a great guitar player. Yeah, really, really great guitar player. I love his phrasing. I love his tone. You have to come to Canada. If you are ever in Northern Ontario, suggest coming the summer months, as our winters up here get -40. Jesus. Absolutely Jesus. That's crazy. It's amazing. I have tons of friends in Canada as well. I've got some enemies in Canada as well, believe it or not. But yeah, I don't see why I wouldn't come up to Canada. I'm fascinated with the Americas, with North America. I've not been to any of South America. I find that it's one land mass and almost just two countries fascinating, because you have so much dramatic difference in climates and locations and things that you can access in those countries. So I've travelled like a large portion of America, certainly more than a lot of Americans have, and it fascinates me, and I would love to do the same with Canada and travel around and get a feel for it. I promise I'm going to do some work soon. What's my name again? I do Skype lessons. You can access me for Skype lessons in multiple ways, one of which is, of course, via email. You can email me via my website, or you can join the $50 tier on my Patreon, and it gets you a Skype lesson every month. Every single month. So, yeah, that's an option. What's the best way to become more musical? Learning tons of scales? No. Scales. Painkiller. What's the best way to learn a language? Learning the alphabet? No, of course not. Learning songs and spending hours trying to improvise on chord progressions. Well, no, it's not learning to improvise on chord progressions. I do this speech all the time, right? Right now I am conversing with you. I'm reading your comments. I'm processing what it is you're saying to me. I don't see letters. I see meaning, right? I see what you're saying and I understand what you're saying. And then I want to respond to what you are saying. Now, again, I don't go, Tell you what, give me an hour. I'm going to write down what I want to say. I'm going to work out what I want to say, and then I'm going to read that to you. That's not how this works. I'm conversing. I am fluently expressing myself, and I'm not thinking in terms of words. When we speak, we don't think words. We certainly don't think letters, right? We think about the meaning. We think about what it is that we're trying to say. We don't just say, right, I've learned 500 words now. I'm just going to put them all next to each other and hope for the best. When you learn to speak a language, you learn by imitating the people around you. You copy what they do, and over time you learn to express yourself. There's a reason why people who are illiterate, as in can't read or write, generally speaking, can still speak, and they can communicate with you, right? It's entirely possible to pick up a language purely by ear. Cool. So that we can get scales out of the way. You can go back and learn scales, and there'll be benefits to that, of course. But I think vocabulary is the most important thing. I think vocabulary is beyond the most important thing. I started to get good on the guitar when I started listening to not just, a solo that someone played, but smaller parts of that solo, the things that they were saying. When you listen to me improvise, and if you scroll back, there's like a bunch of me improvising earlier. For the most part, I'm playing melodies, I'm stitching melodies together. And I'm imitating the things that I've heard. I'm expressing myself in the same way that I'm doing now. In this entire 2-hour stream, it's not 2 hours, hour and 10 minute stream, I haven't made up a single word. Like, I've not invented a word today. Every single word are words that you've heard me say before, or you've heard people say before. But evidently you've never heard those words used to express the exact thing that I'm trying to express to you now. So you can use the same words and you can express different things with them. So I think the best way to become more musical is to imitate the things that you hear around you. Imitate things you hear around you. Listen to things, sing them, play them, sing them, play them. Do I find the high E on Fender slips out of the fretboard easier than other guitars? No, my nut's cut quite well. It's got some gap. My 7 sharp 5 says, you stumbled on the minor 7 sharp 5 chord years ago. Frank Gambale talked about it. Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? Like, the reason I have such a, when people talk minor 7 sharp 5, the reason I jump in and be like, but it's not a minor 7 sharp 5, is it? Is because years and years ago, if you look at Robin Ford's Beyond Blues, that video's called? Beyond the Blues, or something like that. He teaches the song Revelation on there, and he teaches you how to solo over it. And he's showing you the chords, and he says, and there's a minor 7 sharp 5, right? And I'm trying to solo over this thing, and I'm like, why does the 6 sound so bad on this chord? The sharp 5 sounds good, but why does the 6 sound bad? And hang on, why does the 5 sound good? There's not a scale that has a 5 and a sharp 5, or certainly not a diatonic scale. And the more I fucked around with it, the chord, I was like, this doesn't even sound minor either. And the more, eventually I was like, yeah, okay, that's what that is. Us guitar players, fucking shape-based beasts, aren't we? Hey Levi, Brian Kendall. Hey Levi, wants to know what jazz guitar is on the cover of my book, The Flame Maple. Hang on. Wants to know what jazz guitar is on the cover of my book. Which one? Oh, this one. The slide guitar soloing techniques. That, oh shit, what is that? That's my buddy Manny Ruiz's, is it a Gibson ES 175? I think it's a 175. I could be wrong on that. It's not my guitar, unfortunately, so can't give you more info on that one. Oh, geez. Have I transcribed piano or keyboard music? I try to avoid to, Elio, because I'm not a great piano player. Yeah. Massachusetts, if I want to experience all 4 seasons in one day. I mean, I live in Scotland and I choose to live in Scotland, right? So I only experience one season all year round, and it's the shit season. What would I prefer to solo over? Fast key changes, but with major modes at a giant step, or semi-fast changes, but with more exotic mode changes? Neither. Neither of them would bother me. I'd play over either of those. Ever been to Maine? I haven't been to Maine. When I say I've travelled a lot of the states. What I really mean is I've been to New York, and I've also done Route 66. So that takes you through a lot of states, and I've seen a lot of things through there. So before I come across as too well travelled, yeah, not invented a word today. Yorkshire lad in Canada, is that right? I don't know. Sucker at figuring things out by ear. Yeah, of course you do, man. It's because you don't do it enough. You have to sing things and then copy them. Sing, copy, sing, copy. The more you do that, the better you'll get at it. Angus, I am due to... Oh, you live in Maine upside down. What are the chances? I am due to join Rick Beato's ear training course and check it out. Rick wants my feedback on it. So I'll be checking that out, and I, of course, will be making videos talking about it because that's a big part of what I do, right? Anyway, I think I've caught up with these fucking comments, finally. So, yeah, right, let's get on. So, today we are talking about drums. Drums. I did a drum stream earlier in the month where we looked at some Neil Peart, and we looked at... Oh, I know his name now, Joey Kramer, because he's been in the news a lot. We did some Aerosmith, Joey Kramer. Did we do anything else in that stream? I don't think so. But the focus was talking about what drums are, how drums work, and how you go about writing drum parts out. Now, this is a valuable skill for 2 reasons, or for 3 reasons, or for 4. There's tons of reasons why this is a valuable skill. Transcribing functions in two things that you have to be good at to transcribe. One is pitch recognition and one is rhythm recognition. And pitch recognition is very easy to practice because everything I've been talking about here, sing, play, sing, play. If you hear someone play, then you go, ba. You can imitate that, and you can locate that pitch on your guitar or on a keyboard or whatever it is, and you can write that out. I say this all the time. A dog can do that, okay? You can train a dog to do that. Rhythm recognition, on the other hand, is a much harder skill because rhythm recognition requires not a human mind, but an understanding of time. I don't think my dogs have an understanding of the concept of time passing. They experience it, but I don't think they really understand the concept of time. We as humans have very well developed brains, right? And we understand the concept of time. We understand how you can hear something in relation to the passage of time. And to transcribe, you have to be good at that. You have to be able to perceive where the pulse is, and you have to be able to hear rhythms being played against that pulse, and be able to imagine how you write those things down in relation to that pulse. Right, so drums allows us to focus on that skill, allows us to focus on rhythm recognition. Also, as I said, my New Year's resolution this year is to get much better on drums. So I've been practicing my drums every day. I'm getting better and better and better, having a great time doing that. So transcribing some drummers is good fun. Now I'm going to drop myself in it immediately and prove that I'm rubbish, because the first thing I'm looking at today, I'm going to try and download the track. Here's where I'm going to bump into problems and not actually be able to download it. Oh no, it seems to be working. That's nice. The first thing we're going to take a look at is is it Crazy Train? I think it's Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. And this is a good example of everything that we want to look at. Now, if you really want to delve into the drum thing, I would recommend that you go back and look at I've done a couple of streams on drums before. But you have to have a basic understanding of what drums are, what drums sound like what, and also, here's the important thing, what it's actually like to play drums. You know what I'm getting at? You have to understand how to play drums. You don't have to be able to do it, but you have to understand how it works. You have to understand the concept of you're using primarily your right foot to play your bass drum. Your left foot is in control of the hi-hat. your right hand tends to be your lead hand. It tends to be the consistent groove that you're playing either on a hi-hat or a crash cymbal or a ride cymbal or whatever. Your left hand is bringing in accents with the snare drum, and then you're using your left and your right hands for more linear drum fill related playing. Now there's more to it than that, but at its core, that's a good way to think about it. It looks like my sync just went out and I don't understand why. So let me get this loaded up. Oh, it's gone. Fantastic. Let's try this again. Is that better? No, still look a little bit out of sync. So while that's loaded, check what comments I missed. What guitar solos would I recommend to practice techniques such as legato, 80s metal, be anything? I mean, if legato, then you've got to learn Satriani stuff. You've got to learn some. You have to understand the history of where it's come from. You have to learn Eddie Van Halen's half roll technique. You have to then move on and study Satriani's full roll technique. Why is my internet being absolutely fucking raped right now? Start closing things down left, right and centre. Looks like it's coming through okay. We used to do that all the time, seeing a guitarist when I was younger. Being a musician and going to music school, especially in college actually, before I went to university, there was every party that you went to, you knew that there was going to come a point where the wine glasses were going to come out and we were going to try and put water in them to tune them. I don't know anything about 5-watt valve amps. Sorry, Justice. Benjamin, what are you asking about my Mayonnaise Regis? Sorry guys, trying to see why my performance is dropping. My PC's performance is dropping. At what point should a YouTuber stop doing live streams is a better question. Right, let's do some actual fucking work. Seeing as that's what I'm here to do. We don't need this. I'm sorry to hear that, UK Strings. Oh, okay, you're answering only question. Okay, I understand. Stephen Witt, yes, that is Sir Telecaster. Right, Sonar Works can go away. Here's the drums to Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train. So I'm just going to do this in Guitar Pro. If you're new to transcribing drums in Guitar Pro, there's lots of things to take into consideration. One thing would be to press that button up here. This will bring up a drum map, and this will help you. You can use this, if you like, as a glossary of where each individual drum sound is located in Guitar Pro. I talked about this before. The problem with drums is that while there is a largely consistent consensus on how you should notate for drums, there are idiosyncrasies from program to program and from style to style. So having that as a reference is good. I hate YouTube. Telling me that they're not getting enough video from me. I'm on fucking 200 meg internet. You're doing all right. You're getting what you need. Shite bags. Close Skype. Maybe that's sucking up my bandwidth. Right, so let's have a quick listen to these drums just so we can understand it, and I'll talk about them. So when I listen. Fascinating. So this is the actual, what is claimed to be the isolated drum tracks from the original recordings. And all of these are largely in, not public domain, but they're accessible because of things like Rock Band, which obviously they took the stems for tracks to put them in Rock Band. And then people rip them from it, and you get to hear things in a lot more detail. It's amazing that you can hear. Is it Lee Kerslake on this album? Is he the drummer? Let's double check that. Yeah, Lee Kerslake. Of course, it depends if this is the remaster or not. I don't know about that. If it's the remaster, then this will be Michael Borden on drums. And the fact that, like, even in the drum track, you can hear Randy Rhoads playing guitar is cool. Did I hear him shout something there? He shouts here. Oh, no, is that Ozzy? Okay. That should be enough. So when I listen to this, do I have guitar techniques which I don't like the sound of? I don't like the sound of anyone using too much of one thing. Now, I talked about this in the last stream, and usually when I transcribe for drums, I tend to write in multiple voices. I write the kick and snare in the lower voice, and I write what the lead hand is doing in its own voice. In this particular instance, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it all in one voice. So now, the reason I said I'm going to show my inexperience is because, again, I'm not a great drummer. I'm a passable drummer. I'm not a passable drummer. I know how to play drums. I'm not a passable drummer. This, to me, is the floor tom and the snare, floor tom and the kick drum. Then we've got hi-hat with the left foot. So let's say tom-tom, hi-hat. Tom-tom, hi-hat. Hi-hat, tom-tom, hi-hat, tom-tom, hi-hat. So using my reference thing down here. You can actually use this to, you can actually click with this if you want, but I'm not going to do that. So why is my thing not working? Why isn't that working? That's going to be a problem. Why are my buttons not working? Alright. Let's try opening that again. Now would be a really inconvenient time for the number pad on my and the arrows on my thing to not be working. Yeah, they're working. It's just terrible Guitar Pro. You think floor and rack, Tom? Sean, just new to this channel, so apologies if this has been asked before. What software would you recommend for slowing down music for practice? Cheers. Upside Down, could you post a link to my affiliate link? Could you post my affiliate link for Transcribe? The software that I'm using, Sean, in the top left here is a piece of software called Transcribe. It's like $40. I have an affiliate account with them. And if you purchase via that link, I get $10, which is a great way to support my channel. Yeah, it's working now. So let's listen to that again, Taylor. I guess the best way for me to check if you're correct there is to listen for the kick drum when it comes in here. Oh yeah, totally, sorry, yeah. That kick's got a very distinct sound to it. Thank you for pointing that out. So we're going to go for low tom and mid tom. And we can do that and we can do that. Let's go mid high. I mean, you're never going to sound right in Guitar Pro, are you? I'm going to zoom out so I can see what's going on. I'm going to... That's fine. Tempo is... 135. We can always hear how the super low tom sounds. I'm going to put that super low tom in. And it's not for any reason other than I don't like the clusters that I'm seeing in the notation. I've transcribed Rick Graham's stuff for Rick Graham. John, I genuinely dislike Guitar Pro. I hate it. Guitar Pro is a terrible piece of software. But it's the best option because it's cost effective. So, sorry. Let's go. No, we're still in the EU for another 13 minutes. So we've just got the same thing, copy paste, nice and easy. Now, that's where you get that kick drum, right? Yeah. So we've got our snare drum and there's two different crash cymbals. Now, Guitar Pro isn't great at giving you crash cymbals. You've got a splash and a crash high and a crash medium. So let's go crash medium, which sounds like ass, and crash high. Sounds terrible. We've got the same tom bits here, but now we're hitting a bass drum in there. Is that? Have you actually managed to put my affiliate link into a short URL? You are my fucking hero, man. That'd be fun to do. So let me keep track of where we are. I'll absolutely be able to stay in Scotland if it's declared independent. I own land here. Yeah, Guitar Pro. Well, I missed it. See, the last one was the same day. Fast Lady died. Which I put on. Oh man, that sucks. No, minus 7 sharp 5. It totally depends on what's being transcribed. It totally depends on what's being transcribed. Depending on the transcript, if you look at like a Rush transcription versus an AC/DC transcription, at the start of the transcription you'll have a drum key, if you like, to tell you what's what, and they'll put all sorts of weird notation things in there because as a transcriber, it's your job to put some detail into things and tell people what they're playing, so how they can get the sound if they want to play exactly as is. Now this is where I would switch over to the multi-voice thing, because now what I hear is a snare and bass pattern. Bass, snare, bass, snare, bass, snare, bass. And then a fill, right? So if I put that in voice 2, bass, snare, bass, snare, copy, bass, snare. And then I go to voice 1 to put in the hi-hat pattern. It's like a semi-open hat. That immediately gives you splash, so you want... It's like a half. We put an accent on this if we want. Da 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 da. It sounds to me like the hat is going rather than but if I'm thinking about that, how would I play that? I would go, yeah, it would, yeah, because of the snare drum there, it would definitely be that. Are we getting some love for Chinese Democracy in the comment section? I fucking love Chinese Democracy. It's my second favourite Guns N' Roses album. And here we want the... Sounds terrible. Now what I'll do is I'll copy paste. Put this on a new line. Eric, that album has a ton of guitar players on it. So we'll just delete this. Using just voice 1, I will then put the... So, ba-ba... So now with something like this, if I have listened to this, see now I can take this, and then I can take this, and paste. Copy paste. Copy paste. Here the hat gradually opens up. So I am actually going to change that to open. And then in For those of you that have been following my channel for a long time, you may remember, but I see you all talking about Bumblefoot in the chat. My first ever hero worship video series that I do a series called Hero Worship, was talking about Bumblefoot. Bumblefoot is one of my all-time favourite and biggest influences. I think his Normal and Abnormal albums are fucking masterpieces. Now, I've never listened to how the bass goes, just isolated bass. So I kind of want to listen to that. Yeah, they've got it. Let's have a listen to this. I love the the dirt on that. Why don't we add that? So we go track, add. Let's add a bass. I'm sure it'll be 4-string bass, standard tune, and sound-wise we want rock. So the one, heavy. Let's go for that. Now we'll add this. So bum ba ba. Repeats. Oh, we just left. We've just left Europe. Sorry, guys. So here we change it up. That's cool. Repeats. Good. Copy paste. Okay, now I've got the bass in there. Now we will listen to the drums. If we wanted to, I guess we could go... I'm going to slow this one down because I don't want copyright strike. We're in here. What did you play there? Shit, what's the chord? D, isn't it? Oh, okay, it only hits the high part of that. The bass is too loud, as always. Now if we duplicate this, duplicate the overdriven guitar, but then pan them. But you want to change the sounds on them just enough so you hear them. It's like got all of the bass taken out of it. So I'll go on my EQ and I will I'll just listen to that. Now I'll do the same with the other guitar. But for that one, I'll make the tiniest difference. Just so there's two. Still too similar. There you go, now you hear them panned. Now, of course he's like playing with semi-harmonics there and that. Hello, Suzanne Meakin. Okay. Hang on. Hi everybody. I need to run off. I've just got a phone call to let me know that my wife's been in a car accident, so she's okay apparently. But yeah, I need to go down and make sure she's okay. So sorry to abruptly end the stream like that because I was having fun. I was having fun there. Ozzy on the phone giving tips, yeah. But let's just quickly listen to what we got done. I'll come back and I'll do a stream at another point. So we got this. No pick scrape. So it sounds good. Yeah, don't worry. I'm sure she'll be fine. I'll let you all. I'll keep you all updated. Wrong side. But I will keep you all absolutely posted on that. So best way to find out what's happening is follow me on either Twitter or Instagram, and I will keep everybody posted and let you know what's going on. I'm going to go check on her now. Okay. Bloody woman. I'm not going to say it was her fault, but it was totally her fault. She drives like a bloody maniac. She's too confident in the car's brakes, so I could be wrong. Someone might have drove into her, but we will see. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning into my stream. It's all very much appreciated. You can support me on Patreon, pay for my medical bills. No, it's everything's free here, so that's not an issue. Link in the description if you want to check me out on Patreon. You can support me for as little as $1, and that is all very much appreciated. And yeah, that's cool. You can also head on over to Amazon, find one of my books, have a look for Levi Clay. You will find lots of my stuff over there, and some stuff you might enjoy, some stuff you might not enjoy, etc., etc. Most notably, probably my newest book, which is 100 Slide Licks for Blues Guitar. So please do check that one out. When I deal with her and make sure that she's still alive, I am going to come back and I'm going to transcribe the rest of that song. So I'll do that. It's fine. She's fine. Don't worry about it. She's absolutely fine. And plus, Count Dankula and Sue Holker on the way to make sure she's okay. But yeah, thank you again. And I will catch up with you for another stream at some point soon. It will be in the next few days because I enjoy doing these. So much love. Thank you very much. Talk soon. Bye.